Welcome back to my channel for another short lens review, and the lens I'm going to consider in this video is the Fuji GF 35 to 70 mm. The aperture on this zoom lens is not constant, so it means it changes when you start to zoom, and at 35 mm you can shoot as wide as f4.5. At 70 mm it will automatically stop down to an f5.6. I've shot this lens in the last weeks a lot, and I think this is an optimal lens for street photography. It is lightweight. I come to the specs of the lens in a moment. It fits perfectly on my GFX 100S camera body here, and I think it's time now to kick off the video and go into details. Fuji speaks about that lens as quote-unquote the gateway to quality when they advertise the lens on their website. It's compact, it's lightweight, it offers a perfect entry lens into the GFX camera system, and it also is not extremely expensive. I come to that in a moment as said. The lens is at this point in time the most portable GF zoom lens you can get for the GFX crop medium format camera system from Fuji. In this way the lens is also an ideal companion for travel photography, of course. And let's quickly cover the specs. As I said, I don't want to make this video very long, but want most importantly to show sample images. And I really enjoyed shooting that lens. Its build quality is beyond any doubt really good. If you look here at the zoom ring, you have to actually turn it in order to get it operational at 35 mm, which is the widest setting you get. And if you switch on the camera and the lens is not open, then you get this message here saying rotate the zoom ring to extend the lens. And that's what I'm going to do. There is also a little click coming with it, so listen to that. You hear? So then it starts at 35 mm, is buttery smooth all the way up to 70 mm, and I think the build quality is really high, although the price tag is not super expensive, and the lens is fully weather sealed, so it's resistant against dust and splash water. We talk about 11 elements in 9 groups on this lens, and it also includes 1 aspherical and 2 ED elements. We have a minimum aperture of f32, and widest open, as I mentioned before, is an f4.5 in 35 mm settings, and then it stops down to f5.6 at 70 mm. The focus range, or the minimum focusing distance, starts at 35 centimeters, so this lens is also good for close-ups, which is also represented in the maximum magnification of 0.28 times. So that means, and you will see this later in the sample images, you can actually use this lens for macro type photography, and the weight is super lightweight, is 390 gram, which is absolutely fantastic on the anyway not super heavy camera body of the GFX 100S. The filter thread of this lens is 62 mm, so you also don't pay a fortune on filters if you want to use filters on that lens. And in general is a very affordable lens for a price tag of close to $1,000, so $999 is what I currently see at the website of B&H in the US, and clearly that is a lower price tag than what you typically pay for the high quality prime lenses you can purchase for the Fuji GFX camera system. The lens has super quick autofocus. Let me just demonstrate this here. Absolutely fantastic, super reactive, always spot on. And I never had any issues with autofocus. And in general, if you go into the medium format world, and this clearly is not the full medium format sensor size we have here of typically 53 times 40 mm, but smaller, but it is nevertheless substantially larger in the GFX system than what you get in a full frame camera. And typically autofocus is an issue with these type of larger format sensors. Here it works like a charm. Have a look. Let's also get for a moment eye focus on my model a bit closer so I can demonstrate how the focus field is jumping to the eye. Let's try to demonstrate this. So currently I have face detection off, and then I have a customized function button here for face detection. Have a look, and immediately jumps to the face and also recognizes the eye. So quite nice how this is reacting, and as I said, the lens is spot on, super quick autofocus in combination with the face detection algorithm in the GFX 100S. And if we zoom now to 70 mm, you also see how you get, nevertheless, although the aperture stops down to an f5.6, a very pleasant background blurriness here. So let's take a shot. Super good. This works. Of course, I always prefer a constant aperture in a zoom lens, and I would have appreciated if this one here would not stop down from f4.5 to f5.6 if you go from 35 to 70 millimeter. But as I said before, it's also, compared to other lenses in the GFX system, not a super expensive lens for just below $1,000, and that's why you typically have to make compromises here. Nevertheless, image quality, if you look at that image here with the soft background, really cool. This lens has an absolutely fantastic performance and delivered absolutely amazing images, and is very lightweight in your hand, and by the way, is very good to carry with you wherever you go. And you know, some people have these shoulder straps around their neck, which is fine. I never do that. I typically have it in my hands. The grip on the GFX 100S is fantastic. And with this camera system on the street, it's not even super intrusive. Although a bigger camera system, the image quality you get is terrific. So there is absolutely nothing to add. Let's look into sample images and then let's conclude the video. Portraits, no problem at 70mm with this lens, and you see here how pinpoint sharp this is. If I zoom in here, it fully hits the face and the eye in the way I was expecting and hoping for. Next one, again, super sharp, super crisp, absolutely nothing to complain. Very nice blurry background at 70mm. Here another example, absolutely terrific. This is at an ISO of 400, 1/50 seconds. And by the way, on this first image I showed, this was shot at 1/17 seconds and fully leverages, of course, the internal image stabilization of the GFX 100S. And you see and saw here, pinpoint sharp. Here another image, again, wonderful, passed by the glass into the eye, absolutely terrific. And on macro photography, the same story, no problems at all. Everything is sharp and crisp, looks really good. You saw that in the slideshow I presented before. Here this is cropped, of course, and again at 70mm where you get the highest magnification. Again here, super sharp, nothing to complain. This lens delivers from all angles. Look at that image here, how nice is that? And I think I could continue for a while. A small dragonfly here, landscape, no problem. This is shot at 35mm. Here, sunset at Lake Constance, very close to Switzerland. Actually has a shore in Switzerland as well as in Germany. And this is at an f8.0 with an ISO of 100, 1/320 seconds, quite nice. Here people partying on a boat. If we zoom in here, you get a lot of details. This is shot again at ISO 100. This sensor in the GFX 100S is absolutely terrific. Here some village at the lake shore, quite nice. Sunset again, and then here I think this is a very nice image, and the colors of the evening overlay Constance in the way I was hoping to see it. And then this is a shot at nighttime here, and you also see here this is super crisp, super sharp, and here you see the stars a little bit trailing because the sensor is large in the Fuji GFX 100S, and this was shot at 30 seconds, which will actually make the stars a little bit trail. But in general, very good performance. I'm very happy with that lens, and if you liked that video, don't forget to drop me a thumbs up. Stay tuned on my channel, there's always more to come. Thanks for watching, stay safe and healthy, and of course, peace out.